Hello, this is Clean Coach Carly. I'm the staff nutritionist for Healthy Habits Living. I'm telling you today about a nutrient that you can take as a supplement. And probably all of us, or at least most of us, took this nutrient or supplement when we were less than a day old. So, are you imagining yourself like as an infant taking some sort of pill or liquid or vitamin, something? What I'm talking about is colostrum. Now, colostrum is a mammal's first milk. So if you were born and you were able to nurse from your mother's breast within 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours of being born, you likely got a very healthy dose of colostrum. So again, colostrum is the mother's first milk. It comes anywhere from half an hour all the way up to 8 hours after a mammal mother gives birth. And it's different than the breast milk that will come after that. So in this first milk, sometimes called transitional milk, sometimes called immune gold, sometimes called immune milk, there are a different chemical composition, different nutrients than in the regular breast milk. So in colostrum, you're getting a really high dose of secretory IgA and lactoferrin. Now, both of these are important for your immune system, and I'll tell you why. Secretory IgA helps to heal your gut cells in your small intestines. Lactoferrin helps you to absorb iron through those cells in your small intestines and also prevents infections. So thus kind of, again, strengthening the immune system. Because as we know, your immune system is primarily in your small intestines. 80% of your immune cells are in your small intestines. So this colostrum is a superfood or a super healing food for the small intestines. Now, when we're babies, we don't necessarily need a lot of healing in the small intestines, but we do need to create an environment that is balanced and well nourished to help us as we grow. As adults, we sometimes have suffered from infections or poor diet or other toxins or medications or the effects of stress on our small intestines. And so we have a weakened immune system within that small intestines. And so we can use colostrum as a supplement to help improve the health of the cells in the small intestines, and thus we will improve our overall immune function. A couple more things that are in colostrum. Colostrum is also fairly high in protein. It also has vitamin A and vitamin K, which are fat soluble, so they need to be absorbed with fat. Luckily, colostrum does have some fat in it, so it's a very easy way to absorb the vitamin A and the vitamin K. It also is high in vitamin B12. So what are the reasons that you would want to take it as an adult? Well, I mentioned if you have some sort of immune issue, and obviously nobody has a perfect immune system. So if you are healing from an infection, if you have an infection, if it's winter time and you want to be preventive about getting an infection, respiratory, COVID, flu, whatever it is, you can take it preventively or to help strengthen the immune cells as you're fighting an infection. There's been over 7,000 studies done on colostrum. So we know that this is a nutrient that has lots of research. We know that it is one of the strongest supplements for your overall immune system. The interesting thing that it's being recommended for now is leaky gut. So leaky gut is when we have the cells and the small intestines are not integritous. They're not healthy. They're not being able to do their job because they are somehow damaged. And so we know that one thing that can cause damage to those cells on a repeated basis is zonulin, and our own bodies create zonulin. And so when we see that the zonulin levels are too high in the small intestines, we call that leaky gut. Well, what can we do to reduce zonulin? Guess what? Colostrum reduces zonulin. So it's an excellent support for leaky gut. So here's the great thing I think about colostrum. You can get it in capsule form, but you're going to pay more because, the factory has to put it in the capsules for you. But it is comes in a powder and it tastes great. It is slightly sweet and it makes whatever you mix it into slightly creamy. And so I like to put it in warm drinks usually. The hitch is that you need to whisk it or blend it. Because it has a little bit of fat in it and it's powdery, it's a little bit difficult to mix. So plan on using like a blender or a whisk. The other way I like to use it is because it's slightly sweet. if I make protein balls or fat bombs, when I'm kind of shaping them into the round ball, or if I'm putting them in a mold, I'll just put a little bit of colostrum out and roll them in colostrum, because that makes them slightly sweet, they taste good, and it's an easy way to get more colostrum in. You could, of course, put it in smoothies. A lot of people like to put it in their fat coffee, or their chaga, with their butter or their cream, and a little colostrum. So those are some easy ways to use it and get it into your diet. I recommend starting with a half a teaspoon twice a day. And as always, I recommend you go low and slow, because this isn't a potent immune support. It can also cause an immune uprising, right? You get all this good nutrients in those immune cells and they start becoming a little more active. And so if you are sensitive to supplements, or if you have an autoimmune condition, I definitely recommend that you start really slow, like maybe a quarter teaspoon per day. So I heard a blog one time about somebody taking colostrum, 3 tablespoons of colostrum. And I thought, wow, well, maybe I should take more colostrum. So I had been taking maybe a half teaspoon or maybe a full teaspoon. And I thought, well, okay, I'll try 3 tablespoons. Wowzers. I definitely had an immune reaction. I got very warm, like I was maybe having a fever, sweats. I didn't have any gastric pain, but something definitely was awry. It really caused a reaction. So it only lasted for a few hours. And I thought, well, of course, I just gave my immune cells a bunch of fuel to be more active. And this is what has happened. So I definitely recommend that you start low and slow. Interestingly enough, like I said, there's tons of studies, over 7,000 studies on colostrum. And I generally think of it for your immune system and for immune compromise, or preventing infections like during the winter. But there's a surprising amount of studies on it for muscle growth and lean body mass. So it's something that I'll also recommend if you are trying to build muscle or rebuild muscle after you've had an injury or a surgery, or if you just want bigger muscles than the ones you have. So it can be part of that building muscle. And then, of course, for lean body mass, if you're trying to lose weight, this can also be good for supporting weight loss. So colostrum, you might have had it when you were a baby, maybe you didn't, but you have the opportunity now as an adult. I think it's one of the most easy, accessible, easy to use types of supplements, because it actually tastes good, and so you can incorporate it into food. So here at Healthy Habits Living, we are always here to keep you updated with the most impressive, most important research nutrients so that you can optimize your health. We are here to help you get healthy so you can stay healthy and be healthy.